Hey, people, we have made it. It is Monday, 6:15. I'm a little later than I usually do these market updates. However, I had to go get my tire. Y'all, first off, going to get anything done with your car as a woman is not fun, but that's nor here nor there. So let's get into what is the market truly saying right now versus what the headlines are saying. So, when I was doing my market research, I noticed that consumer confidence is starting to shift. I mean, gas prices are going down. They've actually gone down 6.8%. I believe they'll drop down to probably about 10% as well, which means lower gas equals stronger consumer outlook, which also just equals like a potential buyer movement. So it's going to get buyers off the fence, ready to start making a move. And also, if you're new here, I am Kira Ford, your real estate cheerleader, aka your favorite Dallas realtor. And on Mondays, we jump on, we talk about the market and all the things. So if you hear a little bell in the background, it's Jake, my dog, telling me that he wants to go outside, and he's not about to do that. All the things. So down, Jake, down, baby. Okay, so that's for consumer confidence. Now, as far as interest rates, I will say, let me speak to the sellers really quick. For anyone who's looking to sell their property, the golden ticket for you is to help buyers with buying down a rate versus giving them money, like taking the price of your home down. And the reason why is because more people need a little bit of more concessions. Concessions are like money that goes towards the buyer's closing costs, and it helps them make buying a little bit more affordable. So that's what I've been noticing when it comes to the golden ticket for sellers. Now, one thing that I also noticed in the headlines is a lot of people talking about shadow inventory, which shadow inventory is off market properties. There's 25 to 30% of homes that are being sold off market, not even they don't even touch the market, which being with Keller Williams, we have something that's called iFinders, and we're able to help people sell their house essentially off market with it not having to go public. People see into your house and all things like that. But when you do that too, just remember that you don't get full market price, you get investor prices. So that's the only downside of that. Let's see. Oh, another thing that a lot of people that I researched was that homes that are going on the market, they're vacant, which means the sellers or the investors who bought that home, they've already moved, which means they didn't have to sell to buy, which means that they're probably most likely not going to go down on price. When the seller doesn't have to move into a new house, the pressure of selling isn't as heavy as it is if they do have to actually find something to get into. Hold on, let me see who this is. Okay, perfect. Sorry. My client, I have a listing appointment tomorrow, and I gave them homework and they just text me back. So I was like, wait, what's going on? So that is what a lot of sellers are starting to do is they're moving and they don't necessarily need to sell. They just want to sell, which means the price is not going to go down. They'll most likely give you a concession. That's why I mentioned getting a concession a little earlier in this video. Now that we've talked about the shift of the confidence for buyers, we talked about interest rates, we talked about shadow inventory. The next thing is inventory. So many people, well, I won't even say so many people, me, I know I have come on here and said time after time, inventory is low, inventory is low, inventory is low. Well, let me tell you this, inventory isn't as low as it once was, guys. 38% of active listings. We have 38% more listings this year than we did last year. We have 91% more listings than 2 years ago, and we have 55% more listings than we had in 2018. So inventory is starting to pick up. Now I'm going to tell you this, as inventory starts to pick up, you would naturally think that we're going to be heading into a buyer's market, right? Well, don't hold your breath. Even though we are having more inventory, we're having so many people move to Dallas that inventory is honestly balancing out. And if you're coming from another state, you feel like these prices are awesome. So people are gobbling them up very fast. So some markets, because you remember every suburb, every neighborhood is like a hyper local market. Some local markets are in a balanced market, but majority of the ones in Texas or even in Dallas, to be a little bit more, hone in, is a seller's market. So buyers who are going to come out there, just know that you need to ask for concessions versus trying to take the price down, because a lot of sellers are not going to necessarily want to do that. Okay. Let me see. What else? Also, just know that, DFW is dominating on the charge. Where Dallas is number one place for people to move to in Texas. Listings aren't flying off the market as fast as they were in 2020 and 2021, but they still are going fast. And we must understand that this is just kind of where the market is right now. But remember, the market is super volatile, which means that it can change. Oh my gosh, did y'all see that fly? Freak. This is why I love summertime, but when you leave your doors open, flies come in. But anyways, so that is my market update for you. So what does all this mean for you? So this means for buyers. Buyers, guess what? This is a good opportunity because there's not everyone who's been on the fence is jumping in. All right. So the saying that you'll hear me say time after time after time, when people are being cautious, you be greedy. When people are being greedy, you be cautious. All right. So right now people are being cautious. So this is time for you to be greedy. All right. This is the time you get into the market, you get these concessions. Also, new construction right now, they're saying that new construction is cheaper to go with for buyers, $9 per square footage. It's cheaper than going with a resale. So that means anyone who is selling a property in a resale neighborhood, price your house right, or it's going to sit. Okay. What's another thing that I wanted to tell you guys? I think that's really it. So buyers, jump in while you can, while the good is goodin'. And then sellers, time after time, price your house right. And when I say price it right, make sure that your price matches the condition. If your house isn't updated, don't price it to be at the top of the market. If your house is somewhat updated, price it in somewhat in that middle market range. Okay. I trust that this has brought you value, guys. If there's any questions that you guys would like me to answer, like Airbnbs, or like what is like the investors doing right now? What are people playing all in? What are people investing in? Are they moving further out? Are they in the city? Ask me. I would love to help. Let me take Jake out before he drives me crazy. But love you guys. Until next time. Peace.